This morning, I woke up early, feeling calm and ready for a new day. The sky outside my window was soft and bright, and the air felt fresh after the rain last night. I made a cup of coffee, thought about my work. I like my job. Our company is large and international, with people from many countries and cultures. Every day, I learn something new about the world just by talking to my colleagues. When I arrived at the office, I immediately noticed that something was different. Usually the space looks clean and quiet in the morning, but today it was full of colors and light. Near the entrance, I saw small lamps placed along the floor. They were golden and glowing gently on the wall. I noticed paper decorations in red, orange, and gold. The air had a sweet, warm smell, almost like flowers and candles mixed together. It made me smile. At first, I thought maybe it was someone's birthday or a company event, but soon I realized it was something else. My colleagues from India were moving around the office, arranging more lights in small bowls with colorful powder. I remembered that one of them had mentioned an Indian festival happening soon, but I had not known much about it. As the morning went on, I learned that the festival was called Diwali. It is often called the Festival of Lights, and it is one of the most important celebrations in India. My colleagues were full of energy and joy. Everyone looked cheerful and busy, and the office felt different from a normal working day. There was a peaceful happiness in the air. I watched as they made a beautiful pattern on the floor with bright powder in red, yellow, green, and blue. It looked like a flower made of color. Later I found out this decoration was called rangoli. It is created to bring good luck and to welcome positive energy into homes and workplaces. The patience and care they put into it impressed me deeply. During a short coffee break, one of my Indian colleagues told me more about the celebration. He explained that Diwali is a time for families to come together, clean and decorate their homes, and light small lamps called diyas to symbolize light, winning over darkness. People also exchange sweets, visit friends, and wear new clothes. The idea of celebrating light, goodness, and hope felt very special to me. As he spoke, I tried to imagine how this festival would look in India. I pictured houses covered in shining lights, people wearing colorful clothes, and the night sky filled with fireworks. I imagined the smell of sweets and the sound of laughter in the streets. I could almost feel the warmth of that atmosphere even though I was sitting in my quiet office thousands of kilometers away. The thought made me happy. It also made me think about how beautiful it is that people from different parts of the world bring their traditions to one workplace. Our office, usually full of computer screens and business conversations, was suddenly live with culture and meaning. I realized how lucky I was to experience it. The whole day continued in a calm and positive way. Even people who were not from India joined the celebration. Everyone smiled more than usual, and the sound of quiet music and laughter filled the background. I felt that the office had changed, at least for one day. It was not only a place of work, but a small reflection of the world, bright and full of life. Later that morning, while everyone was enjoying tea, my colleague from India shared more stories about Diwali. He spoke calmly and smiled often, and I listened carefully. It was easy to see how much this celebration meant to him. His voice carried warmth and nostalgia, and even though we were far from his home country, his memories seemed to fill the room with color. He explained that in India, the celebration begins days before the main festival. Families start by cleaning their homes from top to bottom. Every corner must shine because Diwali is not only about light, but also about purity and renewal. Cleaning is a way to prepare for good energy and luck to enter the house. I imagined open windows, sunshine on clean floors, and the sound of water as people washed everything with joy and care. After cleaning, Houses are decorated with flowers, garlands, and colorful fabrics. People hang bright lights along their balconies and doors. The small clay lamps, called diyas, are placed in every room. When evening comes, families light them one by one, and the soft yellow glow fills the entire home. The image stayed in my mind, warm light dancing on the walls, children laughing, and the night turning golden.
He also described how families wear new clothes on that day. Women often wear bright saris with gold or red details, and men wear traditional outfits made of fine cotton or silk. Everyone looks elegant and happy. I could almost see the streets full of color, people greeting each other, and the smell of sweets and flowers in the air. Food plays an important role in Diwali. My colleague told me that his mother used to prepare many kinds of sweets and snacks. Some were made of milk, sugar, and nuts. Others were fried and covered in syrup. Families share these sweets with neighbors and friends, which makes the whole neighborhood feel like one big family. I imagine tables full of small plates, shining like treasures, each with a different taste and smell. He said that in the evenings, people light fireworks to celebrate. The sky becomes alive with light. For children, it is the most exciting moment. They play with sparklers and laugh as the colors burst above them. The loud sounds and bright explosions create a feeling of joy and unity. Even strangers on the street share smiles as they watch the sky. Listening to his story, I felt like I was there, standing on an Indian street surrounded by laughter, the smell of sweets and the sound of fireworks echoing in the distance. It was so different from my own city, where people often rush and forget to celebrate small moments. I realized how beautiful it is to have a tradition that celebrates hope, light, and family all at once. As my colleague continued his story, he spoke about the spiritual meaning of Diwali. It is not only about lights and sweets, it also represents the victory of good over evil, knowledge over ignorance, and love over hate. It is a reminder to keep our hearts bright even when life feels dark. That thought stayed with me. It seemed simple, but it carried deep truth. When he finished, I felt grateful. His story gave me a glimpse of a culture full of color, meaning, and kindness. It made me think about my own traditions and what they mean to me. Sometimes we forget why we celebrate or what brings us joy. Listening to him helped me remember that every culture has something special to teach us. The rest of the day in the office passed in a soft, warm light. The lamps on the tables still burned quietly, and the colorful rangoli on the floor looked bright and beautiful. People moved around with calm smiles. Even the usual sound of typing and clicking seemed softer than usual. I went home that evening thinking about Diwali, about light and hope, and about how people, no matter where they are from, all want the same things: peace, happiness, and connection. The festival was not only about India, it was a message for everyone. When the workday ended, I left the office slowly. The sky outside was already turning orange and purple. The city lights were beginning to appear, and the air felt cool against my face. As I walked to the bus stop, I still thought about the stories I had heard that day. The office looked beautiful with its little lamps, but the images in my mind of Diwali in India were even brighter. On the way home, I watched people hurrying along the streets. Everyone seemed busy talking on the phone or looking at their watches. Yet in my mind, I imagined another world, the world my colleague had described. I pictured families preparing their homes, arranging small lamps on windowsills and lighting them one by one as the evening came. I saw children running in circles, holding sparklers, laughing with joy. I imagined mothers placing sweets on shiny plates and fathers greeting neighbors with warm smiles. The air was full of the smell of sugar, cardamom, and flowers. When I arrived home, I sat near my window and looked outside. The city lights twinkled in the distance, and for a moment they reminded me of the lamps of Diwali. I thought about how similar people are everywhere. We all have moments when we want to feel together, to celebrate something good, to fill our homes with light and laughter. Maybe this is what makes life special, the small traditions that bring people closer. I also thought about how lucky I was to work in a place where people share their culture openly. Before today, Diwali was just a word to me. I had heard it somewhere, maybe in a book or on the internet, but I had never truly understood it. Now it had meaning. It was not only a festival in a faraway country, but also a symbol of hope that had reached our office and my heart.
Evening, I decided to learn more about it. I opened my laptop and looked for pictures of Diwali in India. What I saw amazed me. Streets covered in golden lights, temples shining like stars, families standing together in front of decorated houses. In some photos, women were drawing colorful rangoli on the ground, and children were lighting fireworks. Every face in those pictures looked bright and full of joy. The more I looked, the more I felt connected to those people. Even though they were far away, it felt as if the spirit of Diwali could travel through light, through the air, through the hearts of people who understood what it meant. I realized that festivals are not only about religion or culture, they are about human emotions, happiness, kindness, and togetherness. Later, I made myself a cup of tea and sat quietly. The smell of the tea mixed with the thought of Indian sweets and spices. I imagined myself visiting India one day during Diwali, walking through crowded streets full of colors and sounds, feeling that same warmth and light all around. The idea made me smile. That night, before going to bed, I turned off the lights in my room but left one small lamp on the table. Its soft glow filled the corner of the room. I looked at it and thought about how a simple light can make a dark place feel warm. I understood why people celebrate light, because it reminds them that hope never disappears even when everything around seems dark. As I lay down, I felt calm and inspired. The day had taught me something valuable, that learning from others can make our world wider and our hearts brighter. Diwali had come and gone in one working day, but its message